The Mouse Who Painted the Moon. If you listen closely on a quiet night when the wind whispers secrets and the stars blink slowly above, you might just hear the sound of tiny paws on an old wooden stairs. Down beneath the floorboards of a very old cottage where the dust glimmers like fairy gold in the moonlight, lived a mouse named Oliver. Oliver was not like the other mice in the village of Pine West. He did not care much for crumbs or cheese or collecting shiny buttons, but what he loved most, more than anything in the world, was color. Each morning, Oliver would scurry into the attic, where the humans kept their paints, climbing over dusty edges and drying canvases. He dipped his tiny paws into shades of blue and gold, mixing and swirling them onto scraps of paper he collected from the corners of the room. But what Oliver loved the most to paint was the moon. Not just any moon, his moon. The moon he imagined high above the clouds with silver trails like shooting stars and a glow so gentle it felt like a lullaby in the sky. One night, while organizing his little collection of paints beneath the floorboards, he found something strange an old tin box hidden behind a loose brick in the cellar wall. It was sealed tight and covered in tiny carvings of stars and moons. With careful pause and thudding heart, Olga tried to open. Inside was something unexpected, a single shimmering bristle brush, no bigger than a toothpick, and a folded scrap of parchment. On it were the words, "The moon is fading, we need a painter. Midnight on the hill." Oliver blinked. Surely this was a joke. Who could write such a note, and more curiously, who meant for him to find it? But the brush was unlike anything he had ever touched. It tingled in his paws, it shimmered even in the dark. Curiosity flirted in his chest like a moth under a lampshade. He looked out the crack in the floorboards. The moon was indeed hanging a little duller tonight, its glow more of a whisper than a song. Midnight, the hill. That was just past the wheat fields where the wind whistled and the owls liked to perch on the wooden fence post. Oliver packed a satchel with his favorite colors moonbeam, silver, dream blue, a pinch of stardust, white, and of course his courage. As the house grew quiet and the last candle flickered out, Oliver made his way up, up, up through the floorboards, past the sleeping cat, and out into the night. The grass was damp and every step was soft. He was off to find the hill and maybe, just maybe, learn if a little mouse could really paint the moon. The next evening, as the sun dipped low and fireflies began blinkly light teeny lantern, Oliver tucked his paints and brushes into the little satchel. His paws tingled with anticipation. The moon had spoken well in a way, and tonight he was determined to follow the mystery further. As he scampered through the twilight meadows, something unusual caught his ear, a soft whisper like someone singing a song just beyond the way. He paused, the breeze rustled through the tall grass, but the melody did not come from above. It was coming from below. Oliver knelt by a hollow tree stump and tilted his head. The melody grew clearer, like a voice humming through a tunnel. At the base of the stump, half covered by moss and roots, was a tiny trapdoor, no bigger than a teacup saucer. Curiosity fizzed in his chest. He gently pushed the trapdoor open and found a spiral stairwell made of tiny stones, glowing faintly with blue light. Oliver blinked. They still seemed to hum with energy like they had not been walked in a very long time. He hesitated, but then the whispering voice changed. It spoke. "You are the one who see the moon's wishes." Oliver whiskers twitched. He did not understand how or why, but the words filled him with warmth and purpose. Holding his satchel close, he carefully began to descend. Every step he took made a faint musical tone like keys of a miniature piano. Down, down he went until he reached a hidden chamber carved with glowing crystals. The wall shimmered with ancient paintings of birds flying with brushes, foxes sketching starlight, and yes, a mouse just like him standing beneath a painted moon. In the center of the room stood a low pedestal. On it lay a single item, a golden compass shaped like a crescent moon. As he approached, it sprang to life, spinning and glowing softly. A voice ancient and kind echoed through the chamber. The moon remembers those who dream. Take the compass, little one. It will guide you to what has been forgotten. Oliver reached out and touched the compass. Immediately, the chamber began to change. The painting shimmered and moved, the crystal wall shifting into a swirl of images of a lost sky palace, of cloud bridges, of a world above the cloud that no one remembered anymore. The compass pulsed, and a single glowing thread extended from it, pointing up and outward toward the sky. Oliver did not know exactly where it led, but he knew he had to follow it. The golden compass glowed warmly in Oliver's paw, its thread of light stretching like a ribbon up through the night sky. He stood at the edge of the meadow beneath a sea of stars, wondering how a little mouse like him could possibly follow something so far above. But as he stepped forward, the light shimmered, and with a soft whoosh, something remarkable happened. The wind picked up gently, curling around his whiskers and fur, lifting the blades of grass like a quiet sigh. A swirl of mist gathered in front of him, and from it rose a series of fluffy white stacks, soft as marshmallows and glowing faintly with moonlight. Oliver blinked, a staircase of clouds. The compass hummed in his paw. It was time. He stepped carefully onto the first cloud. It just caved a little under his weight, but held firm. The higher he climbed, the quieter the world below became. No crickets, no rustling leaves, only the hush of air and the whisper of wind against his ears. Above him, the clouds gathered into winding path, weaving gently across the sky. Moonlight bathed everything in a soft glow, and tiny sparks like floating stars danced around him as he climbed. As Oliver walked, he passed strange magical sights. A floating nest of glowing eggs that pulsed with light, a sleeping swan with silver feathers, and a tree that grew sideways in the air, its leaf shaped like tiny moons. Then he saw it. Up ahead, nestled on a white cloud platform, stood a gate of starlight, tall, delicate, and shimmering with shifting patterns of the night sky. It sparkled with quiet power, and in its center was a log shaped like a crescent moon. Oliver's heart pattered with awe. Around the gate, the air was still and scared, like the moment just before a dream begins. He stepped forward and held up the compass. The moment it neared the gate, the compass floated gently from his paw and turned in the air. It slid into the lock and melted into light. With a soft chime, the gate opened. Beyond it was something even more incredible, a floating garden of stars and clouds, with giant paintbrushes resting in the air and rivers of glowing ink winding through the clouds. But more surprisingly of all was what hovered in the center, a massive magical ease, and on its half finishing painting of the moon. Not the real moon, but a painting that looked so real it pulsed with energy. Oliver stepped forward, breath held, his paw twitched with an urge he could not explain. The painting was waiting for someone to finish it. Oliver stood very still. The magical easel before him shimmered in the soft glow of cloud light, the half finished moon painting pulsing with warmth and wonder. Thick swirls of silver and pearl danced across the sky-sized canvas. The brush strokes faded out just where the moon's curve should continue, unfinished as though someone had paused mid-dream. He looked around, no painter, no guardian, just him and the clouds and the quiet rhythm of the stars. A gentle breeze swept through the floating garden, and one of the giant paintbrushes drifted toward him, light as air. It stopped before him, hovering, waiting. Me, he whispered. The brush booped. Oliver's heart beat faster, not with fear, but with something brighter, that quiet, glowing kind of courage that only comes when something feels meant to be. He reached out and grasped the brush. It was surprisingly light, but bristled with energy. Tiny sparks danced around its bristles, and colors shimmered in the ink wells that surrounded the easel: lavender, starlight, golden dusk, deep sapphire blue. The compass in his satchel gave one last hum. Then, dim, its job was done. He dipped the brush into a swirl of silver and lifted it to the canvas. The moment the bristles touched the glowing surface, something stirred in the clouds above. The stars hushed, even the wind waited. With slow, gentle strokes, Oliver began to paint. He didn't know exactly how, he just felt it. His paw moved with a rhythm guided not by thought but by heart. He painted the rest of the moon's curve, added soft craters like sleeping eyes, and filled its center with a quiet gleam that made it look like the moon was smiling back. As he painted the final stroke, the canvas shimmered, then vanished in a brush of silver light that floated up into the real night sky. And above him, the actual moon glowed brighter than ever. It sparkled, shimmered, and for just a second, it winked. Yes, the moon winked. Oliver's whiskers twitched in awe. He turned, expecting the path behind him to fade, but it did not. Instead, another cloud staircase unfurled, his time leading down, back toward the forest. But before he left, he noticed something new in the garden: a tiny easel, a tiny brush, a small black canvas glowing softly beside a book titled Painters of the Sky. He opened it, and there's on the last page, in curling golden ink, was a new name: Oliver Moon Painter. The staircase of clouds carried Oliver gently back toward the forest below. The sky was still sprinkled with stars, but now the moon glowed with a soft silvery warmth that had not been there before. It followed him like a friendly lantern, lighting the way. He landed softly on a mossy path, his little paws sinking into the cool green carpet of home. The trees around him rustled as if whispering, "Welcome back, Oliver." Everything looked the same and yet somehow different. The cricket still chirped, the fireflies blinked in slow patterns, but the world seemed to hum with a quiet magic, as if the forest knew that something wondrous had happened as above. As Oliver made his way back to his cozy burrow, he noticed a curious thing. Tiny creatures peeked from their home as he passed. A hedgehog gave a sleepy note, a squirrel blinked in surprise, even the old owl hooted gently from his tree. "Moon looks lovely tonight," the owl murmured, almost like it was brushed with dreams. Oliver smiled. He tucked himself into his favorite blanket bag in his burrow. Now, with his tiny easel beside him, he placed the book, Painters of the Sky, on a shelf cut into the roots and hung his magical compass above his bed. Though the compass no longer glowed, it still pointed to the sky. As he lay there, the moonlight poured in through his little round window. It gently bathed his room in silver and starlight. And just before he drifted into sleep, he noticed something on the wall across from his bed: a glowing mark, the very same soil he had painted on the moon. It pulsed faintly, like a soft heartbeat, a promise that there would always be wonder, that there would always be paths in the clouds, that there would always be stories hidden in the stars, waiting for a small mouse with a big imagination to find them.